Alright, I'm tired of talking about it. It's time to build our rack for our underwater drone to watch some underwater sea life, including shrimp, crabs, fish. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you what my thought pattern is, what I'm going to do with the mount and how it's going to work. Alright, this is the plan. I got an old cutting board here that I'm going to actually mount this to. How am I going to mount it? I think I'm going to drill some holes through here. I'm actually going to mount some PVC pipe on here and build a little cage up here for a couple reasons. One, I actually want to add some additional lighting. This thing does have lights on it, but we got some really murky water right here. So what we'll do is we'll have some more pipes to mount these lights on, which will turn on like that. And then what we'll do is probably have that so the lighting comes down in the area that we'll be filming in to give us some different illumination. I want to get the best videos I can. And what I want to do here is, I could do it like this and have it mounted here, but then the crabs and the shrimp got to come up on this board, which I don't think they'll like this board. So I'm going to actually mount it so we got natural bottom below it. I want them, the crabs, shrimp, will just come on the natural bottom. I want them to hit something where they say, what is this? So they're pretty smart. So what we'll do is we'll mount this thing like this. I'm not sure, probably had to put some foam or something here so it kind of mounts down in. But we want it on level bottom. And I have to fix it so I can tilt this so I can see where I'm at. But we'll also have a piece of pipe that comes up here, comes over here, that will hang the bait down here in front of it with a fish, crab, whatever we're doing. We'll come up here and the camera will be right there. We're going to be able to see some cool underwater shots. Now, we're going to have to weight this down and then put some ropes on. When I build my frame, I'm thinking in my head that we're going to have a rope system that ties onto it where I can slowly lower it down. Of course, we have our wire that comes off the drone that goes to the surface, and I can look at it with my phone, so we'll be able to watch what's happening live, what's going on, which would be really cool. And we'll be able to record it. And but anyway, the rope system, where I can drop it down, we'll have to put probably some lead weights on here so it can, and I want to drop it down slow so it sits on the bottom flat. What I'm planning on doing is putting probably a float on my line, so as it goes down, I don't want the rope to come down and float in front of our face. So the float will actually pull the line up and keep it taut so that it doesn't get in the way of my video. So I got a lot of things going on in my head how I'm gonna build this. So what we need to do now is I'm gonna have to go ahead and try to figure out how I'm gonna mount my weights, how I'm gonna build my system up here, which size pipe I'm gonna use, how I gotta mount this to it so I can get some additional lighting, which will be another adapters and all to get that up to this bigger pipe that holds my lights. Anyway, I'm tired of talking about it. Let's get to work. Y'all ready? Let's do it. All right, we're getting ready for the build. We had to have somewhere to set our drone on here. It's nice and soft. I don't want any pressure on it because when we're pushing this down, these are going to work out just right. I'm going to go ahead and glue those down so they don't move. Once I figure out the exact distance here, they'll be glued down. We got some paracord to take up to the top. We got 2 holders that fit right in a 1/2 inch that I'm going to use. We can actually come in here and probably have it about at that angle to give extra lighting if we want it. We might not need it. So anyway, getting ready to get started right now. All right, some of y'all might remember my lead ball experiment where I tried to make lead balls and they didn't come out exactly right, but they did come out. And I'm using these to weight these pipes down, and it's working. I've already weighted this one down right here, and it's definitely, you can feel it in it heavy. So I am using my little experiment I did to get them in there, so it's working. I actually push it down in here with a little probe here in a second. Push it all down and get it good and tight. All right, let's keep poking it in here. All right, this is how we do it. Just punch it down here like this, and it's almost to the top now. And you can feel the weight in that pipe. That is definitely gonna make it so it'll sink easier. Even though we're gonna put weights on it anyway, we're gonna make sure this thing is float to the bottom. All right, we've come a long way. We're getting closer all the time. We got our lights mounted here, and they're shining right in the center. In front of this is where I'll hang my bait down in front of the camera, sitting right here. We still gotta go ahead and drill some holes here to hold this down here. We'll probably put some stay strap. I'm gonna mark some holes to go ahead and do that. I gotta build a thing to hold this down here. Then we gotta build our to hang it, to drop it into the water, build the weights to mount on here, But we're still a lot closer than we were. All right, won't be that much longer now. Here we go. All right, what y'all think? We're 90% there. Just to kind of give you a quick overview here, we'll probably use some bigger stay straps here, but it's solid. Right now, I got this strap here holding this down. May change that, but everything's flexible here. This is what will hold the bait, and we'll have, just like you see with our crab and all, it'll be coming down here. It will hold the shrimp or the chicken neck or whatever right in this area. But we can actually adjust that closer to the camera away. Hopefully I got it far enough. We'd always add a piece on here if we had to. Excuse me. The lights here are sitting in the right place here to shine right down in where the area is. We do have lights on here too, if y'all remembered. But I didn't know how bright they'd be if you want to come out this far. I have these other lights designed in here. We still have to get our weights on here. I'm going to custom make some weights tomorrow. You know I got plenty of lead. And we got to build our I got paracord here I bought to use that. It'll come from all four corners to one piece at the top here. And it'll drop down just that way. It'll drop down evenly and flat. We want this thing to land flat on the bottom right here. So that's going to hopefully take care of that. A few options, a few little things we got to do. We do have to fill this little hole in right here with something so that it doesn't, water doesn't run all in here. I want to keep it watertight, so I will have to fill that in with some RTV or something. I'll do that. So I do have a few more things to do, but it took a while to get this thing built just to the point it's at now. But I'm pretty happy with it. This doesn't actually touch the plastic I got sitting on the thing, so it's nice and soft in there. May make another adjustment on that depending on how that works. I'll see about some bungee cords, a couple different ones across there. I don't know. But that's holding it for right now. I think that'll work. As y'all know, if y'all saw me use it before, the Bluetooth comes out of here and goes up to the surface. And that's what taps into my phone. My phone will be able to tap in to the Bluetooth on this machine, and we'll be able to sit here and watch it live. What's going on under the water right there. That is going to be some super cool videos, I think. Might try some fish stuff. Just watch the fish come up and get stuff. And we're going to try a lot of things with this rig once we get it perfect here. We're going to have to keep working on a little bit. Might make some adjustments. We always can pull the lights out further, cut this and put a thing in here and pull them out. We can always cut that, put in there and pull it out. So we can always make some modifications to it if we need to. But right now, it's 90% anyway. I just got to make the floats, the weights for tomorrow. And we might be able to give it a test out this week. So stay tuned. All right, I'm hoping this will give us an awesome video to share with y'all and give you a little bit of enjoyment. And that's going to give me some enjoyment. Hopefully I will share it with y'all and y'all will get a kick out of what we see under the water. It's some crazy things going on down there. And we're going to get to see them. All right, I appreciate everybody coming on. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share, and subscribe to the Gigmaster. And stay tuned. We're going under.